Hey, boys and girls, how are ya? Well, first day out of the house in 3 days. Guess why? Through one of our entrepreneurs organization members, they had a connect. They own a bunch of pharmacies, and I was able to get my famous KN95 masks. It's for the family, you know. I mean, we're not really going out, but I got the masks, $5 a piece. Right? Entrepreneurs, they're taking advantage of this market, that is for sure. I think those used to sell for 80 cents a piece prior to the crisis, but supply and demand dictates that they get 5, and that's a deal, because I've heard they're going for as high as 9, and you can't even get them. So I wanted to touch base with everybody here and check in to see if you are adapting during the crisis, right? And most of you should have watched my video about being in a defensive versus, a defensive cash hoarding position for your business to survive, and at the same time adapting and creating something new for the offensive. So I just want to give you some insight from crisis. This crisis will wipe out all weak businesses like a pressure washer. If your business was weak before, or any business was weak before, chances are it will not survive without some kind of a government bailout or something. And yes, those are in place, but some businesses will be gone. I also want you to think about what's gonna, the future is going to look like from here. You have huge amounts of unemployment going on right now, huge amounts. Some statistics say as much as 10, 15, 20% of the workforce has been laid off. So that's huge, right? So it's probably going to send us into somewhat of a recession, maybe even a global depression, and this could last for a couple years. So now is the time to take action and pivot and do something. So, and by the way, if your career already wasn't involved in a recurring revenue business, if your career was something that you were sick and tired of, now's the time to drop it. Get rid of it. You have the time to educate yourself, to try something new. You've got some subsidies coming your way, IRS checks, payments, whatever hitting your bank account from the government. So this is the time to get rid of whatever wasn't, making you money in the past. If your career sucked, if it wasn't recurring revenue, or if you lost your job in the middle of this, get out, forget it, put it behind you, don't look back. All right? Now, going forward, look at all the adaptation that is happening in these businesses. Everyone is shifting to technology. Restaurants are shifting to delivery, all of these things. I had a friend of mine who sells construction equipment. They had a huge convention in Vegas. It normally costs him around $40,000 a year, by the way, to go to this convention, and they get all their sales in there. They got to drag out these forklifts out to Vegas from Florida. They got to bring 15 staff members, plane tickets, hotels, the show, the cost of the convention. But they get a lot of their orders, millions of dollars of orders at this convention for construction equipment sales. Guess what he did last week? Here in his warehouse in Miami, he set up 4 cameras. They put out their equipment there, and then they took the email list that was available from the convention from the prior years. They had access to all the buyers and all the companies of potential buyers, and they did an hour-and-a-half webinar demonstrating their product. They had a call to action button. They had a website with buy now. They had financing in place, everything automated, ready to go. And guess what? They sold almost as much as they did last year at the convention. But the convention cost them $35,000 to $40,000. You know what the cost of this webinar was? About $3,500 to $5,000, including email marketing and all of that. So look at how everything is going to start to pivot. That convention, do you really think they need to do that next year? No, they just figured out a way to reach all of their clients, right, online, direct, and get the same amount of orders or close to it at a lower cost basis to get those and acquire those clients. Look at what's happening with fast food restaurants. You see Taco Bell, I don't know if you saw that, they're delivering. All these huge Fortune 5 companies are shifting into the world of technology. So you had technology disrupting almost every business prior to this crisis. Now, everyone is adapting technology because you have to. You have to do it to reach your client. You have to do it to keep your employees and your staff safe, working home and remote and all that kind of thing. So the point is, the acceleration into the technology disruption of your business is occurring right now. And the offensive, smart businesses that are adapting and shifting will survive and come out leaders. The other companies that were selling construction equipment, for example, at that convention, that were still counting on the convention going, well, they missed their opportunity this year, or maybe they're waiting for it to be postponed. But they're sitting without sales because they did not adapt, right? So the point is whenever there is a massive crisis like this, things change dramatically. If you use the example of 9/11, do you remember how we used to go to the airport? It was like getting on a bus, right? No security, no nothing. After that day, the entire culture shifted, literally within 30 days, right? Airport security, the TSA, Homeland Security. Think of all the businesses that cater to that, how we look at security at the airports, in public places, and bomb detectors and metal detectors, and think about all the industries that thrived off of that event and just the major cultural shift. Think about what else is going to be happening because of this, with trade, with China. I mean, you know, think about how we're going to be interacting socially outside these days. There's going to be fear in people, right? So you may have had a business that depended strictly on face-to-face interaction. Yes, I do believe we will get back to that point, but it won't be as extreme as before where we just, you know, whatever, with a bunch of people in big spaces. I pray it goes back there, but trust me, there's going to be a shift in the culture. So this is your time. I can't stress enough how this is the time, and this is really the message of this video, that you should be pivoting. You need to pick a business that has recurring revenue, subscription-based, insurance. That's what I do. I've launched a full program for you to go remote and become an insurance salesperson, a need product, right? So the product needs to be recurring revenue-based. I prefer need products, not luxury products, right? Insurance, something that somebody needs and needs to buy every single month. You can start an online coffee delivering business, right? Coffee of the month, for example. It's recurring revenue, sell 6-month subscriptions, $100 each, and deliver custom coffee to these people's houses. This is the time how to get educated on how to create sales funnels, Facebook ads, and deliver direct to those clients. There's so many different ways right now to use technology and to cater to the businesses of the future, right? And I can't tell you how much this is the time. We have downtime right now. I don't have any downtime. I'm working more than ever right now. I'm spending 60 to 70 hours a week. Why? Because I'm still in the insurance business. Revenues continue to roll in. We're affected a little bit in certain business closures, but most of our stuff is homeowners and property insurance, where the banks are still requiring it. It's escrowed, and that recurring passive income is still rolling in, and that's why I'm okay in that business. In my apartment buildings, we still have about 75 to 80% rent collections going on. So my passive recurring businesses are still clicking. Now, in the insurance space, I'm immediately going after all these professional salespeople, right, that are out of a job, only as good as their last sale. They can't sell a house. They can't sell a building. They don't know how the real estate business is going to change. Car sales is going to change. And people that were tired, right, of only being as good as their last sale. So I'm creating funnels, click funnels, online advertising, Facebook ads. We had 71 leads come in one day from our Facebook ads to turn into an independent insurance producer. So everything, my strategy is to have 500 remote insurance sales producers. And I'm doing it now because people have to take a 200-hour online course. They have the time. They get their insurance license. I'm teaching them how to sell. And bam, I'm going to have an army of independent insurance producers around the country selling insurance to friends, family, businesses, whatever their passion may be. And I'm going to train them. So the point is now is the time to make a shift. Now is the time to leave whatever career, whatever business you had on the back burner and get out of it. This is your opportunity to leave it in the past and make the shift. Look towards technology. Look how you can adapt and take action. Please This is the time to take action. Never again will you see opportunities like this in this crisis. Take action now. Love you all.